Now for some analysis is Arturo Lopez-Levy in California. He's a Cuban economist and an author. Arturo, your reaction to what we expect to hear on Wednesday?
Asieh, this is a watershed moment in U.S.-Cuba relations. This has been a problem, a very conflictual relationship for more than 50 years, as Michael and Jean already described. This is not the end of the process of normalization. It is a major step to normalcy. Total normalization will obviously require the solution of important claims from both sides, but the fact that tomorrow the chief of the U.S. section in Havana is going to give a letter from President Obama to the Minister of Foreign Relations in Havana, and there will be some message between President Obama and President Castro, is opening the gates for a process that has no precedence in the relationship between Havana and Washington.
Arturo, is there anything specific the Cubans want to hear in this announcement on Wednesday?
Well, I think that already they feel that this is a major achievement for Cuban nationalism. Last week I was in Washington in a meeting, and the chief of the Cuban intersection went there and he made a speech to a group of us, and he emphasized that this is something that it's impressing a lot on the Cuban government and the Cuban people. And obviously they are preparing for this moment for quite a long time. They have a new pole for the flag raising ceremony. But in addition to that, something that you need to take into account, that now there are a lot of technical issues that need to be solved. For instance, consular relationship, because before the rupture of the relationship, Cuba used to have more than 15 consulates in the United States. Now they have only a consular section in the Washington office. So there will be, I'm sure that in the area of business, particularly agriculture, there is a possibility of having an agricultural department mission in the future embassy in Havana. The issue, as I said, of the consulates, those are the specific issues that they will look with a lot of attention.
What about restrictions on Cuban and American diplomats? Do you think some of those travel restrictions will be eased now that they're going to announce the opening of embassies?
I think that we should expect so, because both countries has referred to the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relationship as the blueprint, as the base for the relationship. And obviously Cuba is interested also on providing the Americans the facilities, the possibilities to develop a good work if it is focused only on the diplomatic side of the issue. There are some reservations about some democracy promotion programs that basically this is a misname, because in reality they are regime change promotion programs. But I think that in general both countries will have the structure, the diplomatic framework for speeding up the process of exchanges and engagement between the two governments and the two societies.
And once that announcement is made on Wednesday on opening embassies, how soon do you expect the embassy in Washington and the embassy in Havana to be operational?
Well, something that Ambassador Cabañas, because he was ambassador originally in Austria, now he's the chief of the intersection in Washington, he told us last week was that not necessarily the ceremonies has to be the same day, because they would like to have a big celebration about this issue, and possibly Secretary Kerry, can you imagine that? It will be historic, probably will go to Havana. I don't expect someone lower than Undersecretary there to open the embassy, and the same thing in Washington. It will be a big celebration for many people in the business community, in the Cuban-American community, in the moral majority, because there has been a lot of people that had opposed the embargo and the policy of isolation, because not only because it's counterproductive, it's also illegal from an international law point of view. So I think there will be a lot of space for big ceremonies of flag raising in both capitals. And I'm sure, I'm telling you, a lot of people in America are welcoming this decision. But in Cuba, the last survey that was done without the approval of the Cuban government, but it was done by a Miami polling firm, they said that 97% of the Cuban population was supportive of the actions by President Obama.
All right. On that note, we'll leave. Arturo Lopez-Levy joining us from San Francisco. Thank you, sir.